Welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to Canute Exploration, your topic in a podcast, and you're viewing if you're on YouTube stream, and you are viewing Canute Exploration, your topic in a podcast, and Canute White. We come to you weekly, occasionally, with topics that will interest you, from psychology to education, trendy stuff, right? Um, we are on all the podcast platform, your favorite podcast platform, and you can go there, look for us, Canutes Exploration. We we want you to subscribe, to rate, and comment. Uh, Now we're dealing with mental health, mental illnesses. We're looking at it from the perspective of uh, of um, of stigma. I know it's important to ensure that we remove the stigma from mental illnesses and mental health, because human beings are exploring, engaged with the environment, with stimuli, and there will be challenges because you are human. And as I've said initially on the first part of the, we actually had the first part, of this episode, this series, that you can be mentally well now, right now, today, this moment, and later on you become mentally ill because you're human. I've seen that, as I've said. A friend of mine had become schizophrenic. I left her co-worker. I left her at work like the afternoon, and the following morning she was schizophrenic, and there was a challenge with that. Many people didn't understand, but I am a trained psychologist, slash psychotherapist. I have a degree in psychology, right? So I understand the whole challenges, and I've had a private practice back in Jamaica for many years, 15 years or more, and I am now in the United States, right? This is Canute Exploration. Canute White speaking. Canute Exploration, your topic in a podcast. Look, we continue the whole thing and mental illnesses, and we have defined, according to Mayor Clinic, the the this whole thing about mental illness, which is also called mental health disorder, right? It's referred to a wide range of mental health conditions, disorders, which affects your mood, your thinking, and it also affects your behavior, right? Example, as we have said before, depression, anxiety disorder, schizophrenia, and eating disorder, and other this substance disorder that you think of. We'll go into that in different other series in mental illness, episode in this mental illness series, right? But guys, as we were saying, there's a stigma in mental health, mental illness. One of the most hidden and critical stigma of mental illness is the familial stigma, or the stigma that the family has. Family of the person um, having this mental health challenge we have. So John Brown, hypothetically, that's the real name. John Brown is suffering from schizophrenia. John Brown may be on the street, right? Being slovenly, right? John Brown's family would be stigmatized by other members of the community, of John Brown's community. And whereas John Brown is associated with work or school, his family will be stigmatized. Oh, the Brown family, they're all crazy. That's serious familial stigma. And because of that, the family refused to to expose John Brown's illness, and it becomes hush hush. That is a serious thing, right? This family stigma keep the family from getting help for that family member who is suffering from mental challenges. Wow. So who's the real victim here? Certainly not the family. The real victim is that person suffering from the mental illness. That person, the family, who is suffering from the mental challenge. So guys, this whole family stigma that is affecting the mental health circle is something that we need to talk about. We need to have a conversation about this. Families need to find support groups. Families need to expose their loved ones who are suffering from mental illnesses to practitioners, to persons who can help. Because when all is said and done, that loved one, that family member will get some help. And that's critical, guys. That's critical because that's what you want. That's what you as the family want, for the family member to get some help in this whole challenge that he or she is facing. You know, one of the things that I've noticed living on the island and more likely in the United States as well, and in where you are, wherever you're listening from, because I know there are people listening and watching from all over the world, Spain, UK, wherever. The females who are suffering from mental illnesses are more protected, more supervised than the males. That's evidence, Charlotte, because you tell me, you look around, guys. Usually you'll find persons suffering from schizophrenia, who I've said we call mad people, but you know there is a better name for that. You will see mostly males on the road naked, males on the road eating from the garbage bins. Hardly seen any females doing that. I often ask myself the question, since I started to study psychology and so on, I often ask myself the question, why is that so? But guys, this thing about stigma may be attributed to that. Oh, look at it from this perspective. We talk about family stigma, the family feeling ashamed, the family becomes stigmatized because a family member is suffering from mental challenges. But also, the family will feel more stigmatized because the female member of the family is on the street, naked, being exposed, right? Not being cared for, because most, if not all, societies are very protective of females, and that's cool. But my thing is that the stigma, the family stigma, is extended to be detrimental to the male suffering from mental challenges than the female suffering from mental challenges. It's there, as I said to you, it's evident. You go on the street, you look, you see those persons suffering who are most taken care of. it's the female. So there's a gender thing as well. There's a gender issue as it relates to this whole stigma, familial, family stigma, and in mental. You know, it's important to note that, and I'd said before, the real victim is the person suffering from the illness, not the family. The family is not the victim. But as soon as the family become hush-hush to protect the family name, the real victim, the suffering of the real victim become more intense, unbearable, and can create detrimental, drastic implication for that person suffering from mental illness. So, what am I saying? Families need to remove the stigma in their own way. They're the receiver of the stigma, you know, but they need to remove the stigma by pushing back against it and do what they have to do. Right? And do what they have to do. It's important, guys. It's important that this happens. Families, you have done sociology, understand the whole thing about the function of the family, functions of the family. One of the main functions of the family is emotional support. That emotional support is something that we need to take seriously. Family will have challenges. I mean, conflict, problems within family, persons not talking to each other. However, that social support, emotional support, social system that creates comfort and reduce mental challenges within the family should be active. Family members need to take care of each other as it relates to mental illnesses. That's what I'm saying. And to do this, you have to push back on the stigma. Yes, let the practitioners know that John Brown is having a problem and John Brown needs help. Let your close friend who you can confide in, perhaps you know, many of us cannot confide in too many people, but know that John Brown is having a challenge. You know, it seems like he's having major depressive disorder, and we need we need help for him. What would you suggest? Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody, guys. You need to talk to somebody. Because that family member will be the true victim of the mental illness. So you need to talk to somebody. I'm Canute White. You're listening and watching if you're doing that through YouTube or Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Canute Exploration, your topic in a podcast. You can find us on all the podcast platforms, your favorite, right? Rate, subscribe, and comment. And for the YouTubers, right? Because this will be permanently posted on YouTube. Rate, subscribe, and comment so that you know when we're live, you know when we're posted an episode. And we're just looking now on mental health illness, right? This will be a series for now, and this is the first episode of the series. And today we are looking at removing the stigma. Right, so familial stigma, right? That was one type of stigma. The stigma the family experience as it relates to those persons suffering from mental illnesses. And you know something? Many of us, if not all of us, had watched the interview with Harry and Meghan. That interview had brought to light the challenges. It has resurfaced that mental health and mental illnesses challenges has resurfaced because of that interview. So yeah, and we have learned a few things from that interview as it relates to mental illnesses, mental challenges. One, mental illnesses, mental challenges has nothing to do with your status, your wealth, or your race. Can I say that again? The interview with Meghan and Harry had taught us that mental health illnesses, mental health challenges have nothing to do with your race, your status, or your wealth. Hey guys, once you're human, you are going to, or you are highly susceptible to mental illness, mental challenges. So let's get that straight. Let's get that out of the way because we have recognized that, and we need to know that it's possible. That I've said before, because we are responding to stimuli within the environment around us, and our reaction might be the one that would affect our mood, thinking, and behavior, and we will just never know. But because we're human, we are susceptible. We just need help, and that is what is critical. That is what is important. This thing about help, right? So it also teaches us one more thing, that interview between with Oprah by Meghan and Harry also taught us that family stigma is real. Talk about being shamed. If the world knows that Meghan was having a mental challenge, it's okay. It's okay, families. Families, it's okay. If you don't say, if you don't seek help, then you might lose a member of your family. You might lose your name of your family, lose face, because that member of the family might be so ill that you cannot hold back anymore and may be involved in situations because of mental challenges that would impact the family. So again, remove the stigma. That's what we're talking about on Kenyon's exploration. I'm Kenyon White. Removing the stigma from mental health, so removing that family stigma. So it taught us that interview with Oprah by Meghan and Harry. It taught us that as well. And it also taught us that if we're having a mental health challenge, we need to have the courage to say, yes, I am having a challenge. Why? you are the victim, the true victim, right? You are the true victim, and you need help. You need to seek help, and that's okay because human beings have the challenge, right? And it's okay. Look, the other thing that I like to look at is the personal stigma, right? I might have touched on it a little from time to time, but this personal stigma, right? Where we talk about the family stigma of mental illnesses, but this personal stigma, what will my friends say if they know that I am so depressed that I am it's so much on me that I feel suicidal. Let's talk about that later. But what will my friends say if they know that I am having mental challenges? Wow, personal stigma that is we're looking at, and I know it flows into our mind and create this silence that will be detrimental to us. And I've said, who is the true victim? The true victim is you who is suffering, who is having a mental health challenge. So you need help. Your friends are not the victim of this. You are the victim. You are the one suffering from mental health challenges. And at the end of it, when all is said and done, you will be helped if you are transparent about the challenges that you are having. And it brought me to this thing about having somebody that you will confide in. You must have somebody that you will confide in, that you will talk to. And it's important that you have that person to lean on, to talk with, right? It's very critical, guys. So let's look at it. You are an Canute exploration, second segment of the episode on mental illnesses, remove the stigma. We had done a segment before, right? And this is the second segment. We are taking a break now, going into the third segment of the our look on mental health series, and we're looking at moving the stigma. We'll be back with you